of Back to School Reimagined, the Get Your Teach On conference. We have a very exciting announcement that we have been waiting to share with all of you.
Turn
We're
the hat
so
around
excited.
backwards for that one.
So first of all, Wade and I, and we've kind of shared with you guys, like even since the pandemic or even before the pandemic, you know that our heart is education and students and teaching. And we've been really collaborating about ways that we can better serve you, better serve educators.
Yeah.
How can we help? How can we get information out? How can we get content out? How can we get resources out? The things that you need, things that are timely, things that we're all as educators like scratching our head about, like how are we going to do that? How are we going to make that happen? And so we actually...
Yeah, it's been a few months and...
Well, this was like back long time ago.
So yeah, I guess like last summer we met this individual, right?
Yeah. So,
Last summer.
Last summer, was it just last
It's
summer?
right after Maverick was born.
What is happening today?
You thought it was a few years ago.
I did.
But I didn't correct you earlier, I just let it slide.
I'm convinced that like this pandemic has been 7 years, like dog years. When you live in a pandemic, it's like dog years. I'm fairly certain it's already been 7 years. But we met this individual. She actually came as a keynote speaker to Get Your Teach On, and that is Rachel Hollis.
Yep.
And so we actually made a connection with her, and you guys know all about her and empowering everyone to live their best life and is focusing specifically on women and business entrepreneurs, and they have so many different avenues.
Right.
But we met her, and we just really formed a connection.
Hit it off, and kind of like, it sounds like we're dating, but we're not.
Yeah,
we didn't hit it off.
Sound awkward, but no, we just had so many things in common with just trying to serve our audience in the best way and trying to show up for our audience in the best way possible.
And the one thing that she was really blown away about was the community that all of us have.
First of all,
she was just like,
Get Your Teach On community is
storm.
like,
Yeah.
if you have never been to a live event, if you have been to a live event, let our friends know in the comments. Like, Get Your Teach On, virtual conferences are like, even our virtual presenters are like, y'all, the audience is insane. Like, just the support, the way that y'all reach out, the love that you give. It is like that of times a million when you are in person at events and y'all know like everybody's hugging each other. It is just like the energy. I cannot wait for that moment to happen again. But Rachel talked all about our community. She's like, she even said, like, even her, and she had her assistant with her, I think, there, and they were like, listen, we have Rise events like all over the country. I mean, many of you who follow Rachel, you know that she does Rise events. And they were like, we thought that our audience was hype. Like, we thought that our audience was like the hypest of the hype.
Yeah, don't worry.
And
we're teachers. We know how to get hype.
And then they said, but we had never been to Get Your Teach On. And they're like, I swear, y'all's audience is like next level. And you guys are. I mean, but that just speaks to who teachers are and what happens when we all come together.
That's it.
And so we ended up having conversations with her and just seeing that
what kind of synergy was there?
Yeah.
Like, if there was any synergy at all.
But we just shared with her, again, our heart to serve you guys. And so we ended up meeting with her, and we were talking about ways that we can serve you in a better way. And she was just so supportive. And so we have been working on a really, really, really exciting project. And so we figured we would just show you what it is. So
here it is.
Check it out.
Hey, y'all.
I'm Hope King.
And I'm Wade King.
And we're teachers.
And parents.
And authors. And we know that empowering kids is the greatest gift in the world. This podcast is a place where we can talk about all of it.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
We can share tips and tricks from the classroom, stories that will make your heart smile.
And creative ways to use your gifts to change the world. Nowadays, everyone's an educator.
Whether you chose this career or not.
This is the new EDU.
In this podcast specifically, we want you to come here and be your authentic self.
If you focus on what you can control inside of the home, your child will see that education isn't a separate entity from life.
What would I go back and tell myself as an educator during that first year of teaching that I wish I could change more than anything? Breathe and relax.
To create a space for your child to be successful, you have to know what type of person your child is.
So we are part partnering with Rachel and the Hollis Co. And we are so excited to be launching a podcast on their platform. And
on their podcast network, 3% Chance.
Yeah.
So that's
it's coming at you, folks. It's coming at you.
Whether you want it or not, September 14th.
But one thing, when we really started talking about this and planning it out, and we've already done some recording of episodes, and we've really been working on this, and the reason we titled it The New EDU is because education is different. It's changed forever, and I think it's for the good. And I think that what we're really focusing on during this podcast is how to serve you as the educator. But one of our focus points, we know as educators, is we want to build a bridge between educators and parents. We feel like there needs to be a connection there if we're truly going to be able to educate kids to their fullest potential and help them find their passion and what it is that they are going to pursue. And we feel like that this has been a bridge. While we've talked about things and we've talked about how to make parent connections, it's a bridge that's a little rocky sometimes and could use a little work. And so we're excited to be able to, speak from a parent's perspective, speak from an educator's perspective, but also be able to bring those two worlds together. Kind of like what do teachers wish parents could know, and what do parents wish teachers could know, and really start building those connections.
And that's what's really great, because Rachel's audience is that. There's a lot of educators with her audience, but we're able to do that. And it's just the beginning. We've got some other things in the works, and that's just what we're going to say right now.
Yeah, so we're
but
so
the new
excited.
EDU.
We're so excited about launching these episodes for you guys, and they are going to cover all different types of things. When we said the good, the bad, and the ugly, that's one thing about this podcast. And if you know anything about me or about Wade, we just shoot it real. We shoot it real. We shoot it raw. It is what it is. Life is not always rainbows and butterflies, and we've got to attack those difficult issues, and we've got to talk about how things aren't always great, but how we keep moving forward. And same is true of the classroom. And so,
and we will still talk all things teaching on there too. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, but it really is. We want this to be a bridge between parents and educators, and really start gaining deeper understanding from both perspectives for one another, because that's only going to better our classrooms. And so that's what we're all about. So we're so excited to be able to bring that to you guys really soon.
Really pumped.
Something that we have been working on for quite some time now and put a lot of heart and energy and effort into. So the new EDU, everybody, coming at a podcast.
All podcast subscribers,
earphone,
listeners,
telephone,
cars,
near you.
Cars.
But anyways,
there we go. Yep.